Hello, I'm Margaret Workman, and I wanted to read to you another response for my leadership class at Colorado State University, and I thought about doing it outside. Since it's so windy, I might as well. I have had many special people come in and out of my life. There were too many to count. Sometimes I had special conversations in which my heart and mind was moved by a stranger standing somewhere on a street corner or someone in a store. They would say things that were completely unrelated to the situation that I was in at the time, but those conversations would move me to feel differently about something that had been bothering me. From a very young age, I decided to view education, logic, and rules as a mainstay for me because they would never fail me, and I would, in most cases, be successful if I followed these concepts for my life. These concepts will always have a positive impact on me depending on what I decide to educate myself with. So I can always choose these concepts, and they will allow me to be more in control of situations in my life. Being in school or educational situations has always brought hope of the future into my life. I can always look forward to learning something new in each educational experience that I choose to be in. When I was 11 years old, volunteering at a nursing home. When I was 11 years old, I started volunteering at a nursing home. I visited them, played bingo, and helped make posters with residents. This helped me to understand more about the world around me, especially when the residents would share their stories with me. At age 12, I started volunteering at a veterinarian clinic. I wanted to be a veterinarian, so I thought that was a good place to start. I worked there full-time in the summers and part-time during the school year. I learned how to work with doctors and the veterinarian technicians. I started getting paid at age 14 and was able to have a down payment for my first car. I received my first W-2 at the age of 14 and filed taxes. I was a page for a day at the Capitol building in Topeka, Kansas, with a friend when I was 12. This helped me to understand some of the responsibilities that government officials have in each state. I was in a play in middle school as well as in high school. One of the plays that I was in was called Oklahoma. We all know that song, right? Out on the Prairie. I was in show choir in high school as well as singing contests in state and out of state. Our show choir group even went to different businesses around town and sang Valentine's Day songs to people in front of their coworkers. It was a small town. There weren't that many businesses. It was so fun. And I was in FFA, which is Future Farmers of America. These groups helped me to feel more confident with other people and in presenting myself in front of others. I may not see how the information that I am learning can help me presently, but in the future this knowledge might be needed. Teaching myself new things such as the piano and guitar have helped my thinking to become clearer and more sharp. I bought some lesson books in 2021 and taught myself how to play simple songs on each instrument. Also in that year, I wanted to try to learn other languages. I used Rosetta Stone and Duolingo, which is a free app. Right now, I am still actively learning these languages. I have a notebook for each one, and I looked up their alphabet and how to phonetically sound out each letter, and I wrote all of that at the beginning of each notebook. Then each sentence that I was given, I wrote out with the English translation underneath. I am trying to learn 10 different languages right now. I really enjoy learning all of these subjects because it teaches me how to listen to what is being said. I have to work on being disciplined so that I can progress. Educating myself has helped me to become more confident. Also, using logic and rules have been very important in my life. I have always had a very large fear of failure and cockroaches. I would rather jump out of a moving vehicle than watch a cockroach move or fly. Logic has helped me to get over many of my fears surrounding failure, and as long as the rules are listed, how can I fail? I try to use logic to organize my thoughts about situations regarding people especially when people who are led by their emotions are in charge. It can be hard for me to understand their responses. Logic helps me to understand them more, have empathy for them, and guides me in having logical responses. I also have been able to learn more about how others think, and in turn, what my opinions are about life. I started learning about Plato, who was a philosopher. He was born in 428 BC in Greece, and his name was Aristotles at that time. He started a school in Athens called the Academy, which taught mathematics and philosophy. His belief system, Platonism, was ruled by mathematics, logic, spirituality, ideas, and concepts, rather than formal logic and how these things help humankind to view the world and our personal situations. He believed that humankind had the ability to understand what absolute truth is and how to use our rational minds to rule our actions, to carry out our decisions, and that in turn would help us to rule over the outward situations in a positive way for everyone involved. He placed ideas in a hierarchy of importance. At the top of this hierarchy, he has good, beauty, symmetry, and truth. And then underneath that, which are major virtues that he believes are major virtues, are wisdom, temperance, courage, justice, and piety. Underneath that, which he has listed as mathematical terms, are equality, likeness, unlikeness, and proportion. Plato believed that the mind of humankind was capable of being ruled by rational thinking. And I got that information out of, it's a book called Dictionary of Philosophy. So that's what that is. So that is my response for one of the questions for my leadership class. Thank you very much for listening.